Okay, so let's take a look at how we're going to either add new customers or manage existing customers. So first off, if you click on the customers in the menu option, it brings up a listing of all the existing customers, and you have the ability to search through them by name or any of the column headings here. You can search on those. But let's pull up one that I know has some decent data. All country, for example, where I'm just going to select this and it brings me into the customer itself, which, by the way, this plus button here is the button you would use if you wanted to create a new customer. Brings you into this exact screen, except in that case, it would be all blank. So first off, you need a customer ID, and that's going to be just some unique set of numbers or letters for each individual customer. You have 25 characters to work from. And no special characters. That's the only restriction. Then the accounting key, these are almost always going to be the same. And when you add new customers, it sets the accounting key automatically. But if you're coming over from a legacy system or a legacy accounting system, this accounting key is how the customer looks in the accounting system. Because what happens is once the accounting integration is turned on, anytime you add new customers or make changes to an existing customer, it's going to check and validate that accounting key to see, does this customer already exist in the accounting system? And if that customer does already exist, then it's going to look for changes that you may have made and make those changes in the accounting system too. Or if that customer doesn't exist, then it will also then create and add that customer to the accounting system as well. You have the ability to inactivate a customer if you're no longer doing business with them. You can set them to inactive, keeps your history, but allows you to remove them from active. You can no longer create sales orders against them. This also gets used actually in the CRM tools, because instead of sort of clouding up your customer database with prospects, if you just set a customer to no when you first create them, then it allows you to create quotes against that customer or add new opportunities against that customer, but it doesn't add them to your active customer list and won't let you create orders until you flip that status to active. So you have the actual customer address itself here, and it assumes that whatever you're putting into here as the sold to address is also the billed to address. But if there's a difference there, you can uncheck that and indicate what the bill to is. This is the default trader or default sales rep that you're assigning to that customer. You do have the opportunity to change the sales rep on an order by order basis, but it will pre-fill the order with whatever you say that the default rep is here. You can apply sort of a standard discount. This customer always gets a 10% discount. Then when you create new orders, it'll look at the default pricing minus this discount percentage. You're also establishing sort of default payment terms. Same thing, you can change the payment terms on the order by order basis, but here's where you're establishing the defaults. This credit limit also gets used in the accounting integration. And this depends on which accounting system you're using, but QuickBooks, for example, if you set a credit limit here of say $50,000, then when a new sales order gets created for this customer, it's going to look at their current open balance in the accounting system, plus any open orders that exist in VISCO that have not yet been sent to the accounting system. And it'll compare that, well, I'm sorry, it'll then also add in the current order and it'll compare that to the credit limit. So if that order is going to put the customer over the limit, it'll give you a warning. There's lots of actual different behaviors that can happen at that point, but let's assume by default that it's going to give you a warning and say that this order is going to put the customer beyond their limit, and it's going to stop you at that point. You can set sort of company level phone, fax, email information, and website information. You also have the ability to set those for individual contacts, but this would be sort of a higher level at the company level. Contact info. Comment information is just used for internal purposes only. So that's not going to show up on documents anywhere. That's just a way to sort of keep notes about a customer. You can set up groupings around customers. These are customizable. So if you want to group by industry, by type, by region, any of those things, you can sort of set up these groupings, and then that information becomes available in the standard reports. So you can pull up sales reports for one group versus another kind of thing. You can have an unlimited number of contacts associated with a customer as well. So if I want to add a new customer contact here, I'll just put their name. title, phone, email, mobile, and then you can set up groupings around customers too. And there's different behaviors you can do with different contact groups. So for example, if I say that this is an accounting contact, then as long as the email address is in there, then when I send out, say, invoices to this customer, it will pre-fill with this customer's email address in there. Now the product list is actually, this grows automatically as you create new sales orders. So this is basically what this list is showing you is every single product that you sell to this customer. It will always show you the most recent price that you sold this product to that customer. You can also set your default pricing for each of these products. And then when you go to create new orders, it'll assume that price on the order itself. You can also set ship to address information. Oh, sorry. One more thing I want to mention about this is you can establish customer product names, we call that. So if the customer has their own internal product codes or product names, you can set those here, and that will actually show up on documents like sales orders and invoices that go to that customer. So they're seeing their own product codes. You can have an unlimited number of ship to addresses associated with a customer as well. When you go to create new orders, if there are no ship to addresses, it'll assume that the bill to as the ship to. If there's only one ship to address, it'll assume that that is your ship to address that you want to ship to. And if there's multiple, it gives you the option to choose which ship to address you want to ship to this particular order to. You can upload and attach documentation that's specific to this customer. So I know a lot of people use this for like credit applications, things like that. And it keeps a record of who uploaded it and when. And then down below, you can just flip between customers here. So instead of going out or coming back in the way you do on the older system, you can just go directly into the next customer. If you wanted to search for a different customer or something, you can do that. And then you have the history of all the transactions that you've done with this customer. So this would be any shipments that you've shipped to them, what the products were, the quantities, the pricing, when it shipped out, but sorry, the date shipped would be here, the delivery that's on, that kind of thing. A listing of all the invoices would be here, sales orders, opportunities, quotes, deliveries, even like, inventory that you have pre-allocated to this customer. You could see that in this Venture Explorer area. Purchases that you've made to suppliers specifically for this customer would also show here. So that would be, it really works out well in the case of direct shipping. You can see any purchase orders that you've done for suppliers that are shipping direct to this customer. There's that link in place. And then sourcing is a listing of any price quotes you have received in from different suppliers as a result of inquiries that have come in for this customer, if that makes sense. So if this customer is requesting pricing on, say, 1,000 units of something, then you can take that, the system will create an RFQ that you send out to the supplier. And then as you receive pricing back in from the different suppliers, you can look at a history of all the different prices that have come back, who the vendor is, what the products are, and what the pricing is.